can't even see you. It's awesome. I'm sure you're there, though. The light shines right in my eyes and leaves. So God isn't finished with me yet. How about you? Here's what I know for sure. You can mess up big time, but if you change your mind and begin to think a new thought and begin to see yourself in a new way, everything changes. I recently got a tattoo. All young people are doing it. Okay, I was young once.
What do you hear? She's on. Okay, what do you
Still am. So the tattoo has the initials of my 4 babies, the infinity symbol and the word love. Because I got infinite love for my 4 babies. Now my 5 husbands, I have tattooed, no, I did not tattoo them anywhere. However, I gotta say, I have a little disappointment about those 5 husbands, and that is, I really thought Liz Taylor was gonna have to take the back seat to me. But I met number 5, and 5th time's a charm, my husband says. So I'm very, very grateful. Life is whatever you make of it, and whatever's going on in your life is what you make of it, and whatever you feel about what's going on is what you make of it, and how you think about life, well, that's up to you too. You see, I can't make you think anything, I can't make you believe anything, and I don't even want to. But what I want to tell you is I led a life that was totally screwed up. Few of you know me long enough to know that is the truth. And here's the thing, is one day I sat down and I went, who's driving this ship anyway? Who's thinking the thoughts that are going on in my head, telling me my life is a mess, telling me this is wrong, that's bad? Or I need a man to complete me. If anybody's thinking that, erase it right now. You don't need anybody to complete you. You are complete. We're created in the image of the likeness of the Creator. The power of the One is within each and every one of us, and it's up to us to give it a little juice and let our little something, something out. And every one of us has a little something, something that's unique to us, special to us, that only we can do it. Nobody else can. And that little something, something, it's up to you to, give it away. Give it to the world. Stand in who you are. Realize that you are divine. That little power within you, it's awesome. And it is the thing that makes you unique. Now, some of you find centers for spiritual living because you think you're broken and need fixing. Okay, that's a lie you've been telling yourself, so go into your forgiveness work and forgive yourself for being a liar. You don't need to be fixed because you're not broken. Who you are is divine. Who you are is right. Who you are is perfect. Your gifts and talents, that is you. And it's good and very, very, very good. I used to have a picture on my fridge of a little person's face and a little caption underneath. It said, God, don't make junk. So I want you to look in the mirror the next time you look in the mirror and go, ooh, God stuff going on. I like it. I remember this is, I've been at the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living for a whole long time, since I think I first started coming in the late 1980s. And trained under the Reverend Carol Carnes, which was a gift. She was my teacher from day one to the end. And I'm very blessed. And I was blessed to be, downtown at the Performing Arts Center when we were there. And Amy was there. She was just a little girl. And she had this voice. Well, you know. And I remember the very first time she sang, she was just a teenager. And I think she was a little bit shy. Oh my God. She brought down the house. And then she sang at the next church too, and we moved into the big building, and that was awesome. And that church was amazing, and I loved being there. And now you're here. This is the right place at the right time, and it's the right stuff, and you have the right minister and the right people, and it's all good and very good. And how do I know that? Because it's what is. I want to tell you what is. Did you know you cannot change what is? You cannot change what is, and your resistance to it will hold it in place with such fury and might that it will strangle you. And so we have to release and let go. See, I had to get over the fact that I had had 5 husbands. When I met Pierre, it was like, I had to tell him, hey baby, You're number 5. How you liking that? I think he liked my ankles, so he didn't leave. He stuck it in for a day or two, and I think about 6 weeks in, asked me to marry him, and 6 months later we got married. We've been together 13 years, and we have a beautiful 9-year-old daughter. Yeah, see, old people can have more kids. That's what keeps me young. But here's the thing, right? Like, I could look at my life and go, hey, you were doing drugs as a teenager, you had your first child when you were 16, you've been married and divorced more times than most people can count, and you know, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because God ain't finished with me yet. God has got me on a path that's powerful and creative, and it's about authenticity and honesty. And so I stopped pretending I didn't have a past and started embracing the fact that, that's behind me, and I don't look back anymore. I used to look back all the time. I'd look back and I'd judge myself. Anybody here do that? Two honest people in the room. I like it. Exactly. Like we look back all the time and we go, oh, I can't get into a new relationship because, you know, the last one was really hard and blah, 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 blah. Get over yourself. The reality is that you're thinking a thought, and your thinking a thought is creating your life, your future, and your now moment. And in this now moment, you might be sitting here going, I wish you'd finish so I could go have lunch. And I will eventually. But the truth is that you're here, and you can begin to look at your life and look at this center and look at this journey in a brand new way. You can begin to live the divine that's within you. You can begin to show up as who you are. Stop pretending. It is exhausting. Did you know that? Do you know how hard it is whenever you meet somebody and you got to be a different person? This from my mother-in-law. And this from my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Right? Yeah, we go out on the first date and we're all print and perfect. By the 3rd year, we're like, whatever. We want to stop all that stuff and just be who we are, like ourselves enough that we can be who we are. One of the things I love is Ricky Byers-Beckwith, maybe her and Michael Beckwith may have written it, but they wrote a song that is, I love myself so much that I can love you so much. You know, there is only love. There's nothing else. There's love, period, end of story. And if you're showing up in fear, that's your problem, not mine. And not the people around you. That's your challenge, to stop being fearful and begin to love. Begin to stand in who you are and celebrate it. Know that you are created perfectly to do what it is you're here to do, because we all got a little something. And it's up to you to give it. Amy's little something is to sing. Wow. And aren't you glad she does? Wouldn't it be great if she was your accountant? No, I mean, the woman's got a voice. We want to sit back and look at what it is we do and do it. So I wrote a book a while ago called 30 Days to Joy. You're not going to get to joy in 30 days unless you want to. But the book is a daily practice. That's all it is every day you get up and you read the page and hopefully you do it. And if you do that, what happens is you begin to switch your perspective about who you are and what you are, and you just might get happy for a minute. Up to you. Go ahead, be miserable, it's all good. See, I think joy is a good thing. I like to laugh. I like to play. You might not know that about me because I'm pretty serious. But I do, and I like to do silly things, and I like to embarrass myself, and I never used to be able to do that because I was too busy pretending to be something I was not. Fortunately for me, some of my very good friends were willing to see me for who I was, regardless of all my crap. So I'm really grateful to them. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. Do you know that song? I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. I know I'm flat, but Amy could do it better. That song, when I was in my hating years, I didn't hate all of you, I hated me. When I was in my hating years, I started to sing that song one day when I first heard it, and then I sang it again and again and again. And I sang it until I actually believed it. I sang it until I was willing to do it. I sang it until I was willing to show up as love. There is only one thing going on, and it's love. And we are here to learn how to awaken that within ourselves, to love each other. I loved Amy's song. Oh my gosh. To let go, like to forgive and to move into that place of acceptance and to let go of the anger so that we can live longer. So that we can have a longer life. You know what happens when you get into road rage? You reduce your life expectancy by a year or two. Only because, you raise your blood pressure, your heart rate, all that stuff, and it's going to cost you. God isn't finished with me yet, and I know that because I'm on this side of the grass. So I can assure you that God or Spirit or Buddha, Allah, whatever you want to call that divine universal energy, it isn't finished with you yet either. Because I can see you're on this side of the grass. So it's time to begin living. I'm not sure what you're waiting for, and I'm sure some of you are not. Some of you are doing it really good, I'm sure. But if you're not, I invite you to just go into yourself in meditation, in treatment, and begin to see how truly remarkable you are so that you can begin to live the truth about your life. And part of it is telling the truth about who you are. Telling the truth about the thing you're most afraid of. For me, it was standing up. I attend a church in Toronto because I no longer pastor a church, but I do speak there often. And it is a marvelous New Thought church, but it's Christian-based. And the people are very proper and lovely. And I love them and they love me. And on Mother's Day, I decided to share that I'd had 5 husbands. I thought for sure they'd never invite me back. I was terrified. I'm not usually terrified speaking, but I was. I was like, knots in my stomach. Going, oh no, what are they going to think of me? And there was a collective silence for a moment after I said it, because I don't think they actually believed it. And then all of a sudden I mentioned Liz Taylor and the place erupted. And I think then they got it that I was telling the truth. And interestingly, at the end of that service, I had about 14 different women come up to me in tears going, oh my God, thank you. That's the most honest sermon I'd ever heard. It's time for us to show up. One of the things that I found over my years of ministry, I've been doing this since 1998, and what I've discovered is that sometimes as ministers, we pretend we're perfect. And that lie is killing us. And we have to stop it. And it's not that we want to air our dirty laundry, that's not it. It's just like, yeah, I've had a past too. Like, I had a life before I found myself. And I'll tell you, finding myself has given me a sense of freedom and possibility I never would have believed. When we stop hiding from who we are and what we've done and just go, you know what it is, but this is a new day. You see, in the moment we do that, we have the power to create something new. We don't have to repeat the past. We don't have to go backward. Now we can move forward. Now we can see the doors opening and the windows, the shutters flying wide open, and we can begin to move into the idea that we always knew was possible for us. We can begin to share our light, our love, our possibility, and we can celebrate not only us, but everyone around us. I remember one time being married to an alcoholic, and after we split, I was really afraid of people who had alcohol in their breath. And it took me a while to move through that and get to the other side of it, to know I'm safe. I have to be safe. I'm one with God. How can I be anything else? And I remember walking, taking the bus downtown Calgary one day. I was going to lead a meditation, and as I was sitting on the bus, I thought, oh, I'm going to run into somebody who needs some money. So I took all my coins out and slipped them in my pocket. And I get off the bus, and I'm walking down 9th Street, and there's this gentleman coming toward me, and he's kind of staggering, and he's asking people stuff, and I went, that's the one. And as he got close to me, I could tell he'd had more than a few. And he's looking down at the ground, and he said, can you spare some change? So I took the change out of my pocket, and I placed it in his hand, and I held his hand, and I looked him in the eye, which was hard, because it took him a minute to look up. And I said, have a beautiful day. And I knew in that moment I'd received a healing. It had nothing to do with him. I'd received a healing. I'd received a blessing. And when we go through our lives and we begin to look at the people around us as the remarkable gifts that they are, as we begin to see the people around us as a mirror of an idea within ourselves, we begin to see what's possible. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind said that, he said a whole bunch of good stuff, by the way. Read that book, it's awesome. Every time I read it, though, it's like he rewrote it. There's a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. And I'm going to rephrase it slightly and say there's a power for good in the universe, and you are using it whether you call it good or bad. So I invite you to call it good. I mean, think of it for a moment. There's this one universal energy, and it's everywhere present. And if it's everywhere present, that means it's where you are. And it's not only where you are, it's the chairs that you're sitting in and the floor you're walking on. It's everything. And you're living and moving and having your being in it, not apart from it. It isn't up there waiting to bestow a blessing on you. It is you, and you have been blessed. And you can use that energy. You can call it good or you can call it bad, but the truth is it's good and very good. All the time. You could take the word God and add an extra O and just call it good. Call it good from here on in, and you begin to see the possibility of a greater future, the greater possibility for you, not only for you, but for everyone. When we looked at that song, One Power, what a great song, eh? One power. There's one power. I live and move and breathe in it. Did you get that? Repeat after me. I live and move within it. My thoughts direct it. My thoughts direct it. Remembering that is so powerful because it begins to shift everything. Yesterday I had the privilege of performing the marriage ceremony of one of my younger sisters. And 6 years ago I had the honor and privilege of presiding over her husband's memorial service. And she honestly thought she would never marry again. And all of a sudden she met this remarkable man, and they fell in love. This girl had never gone to church a day in her life. Well, I think she came and heard me speak once or twice. And she married this man who's a pastor of a full gospel church. Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters, praise the Lord. So he bought her a Bible, and she's like, oh, okay. It's really pretty. Don't quite know what it's saying. And he let me do the wedding ceremony. A whole bunch of pastors in the room, not from CSL. And they're coming up to me going, wow, that was amazing. Of course it was love. We were witnessing love, we were expressing love, we were receiving love, we were seeing love, and so love is what happened. Love is happening for you if you choose it. Love is happening for each and every one of us if we choose it. Love is the possibility when we get out of our fear. Stop listening to the news. Did you ever notice it's all bad? Well, it's not bad, it's good. It's just we call it bad. Sorry, sorry Pat, I'm ruffling feathers. What happened in the news is good. We don't know what's happening in the long run. We don't know how the universe is unfolding. What I do know is that whatever is happening right now is the right and perfect thing given all that we've thought up to this point. And if we want to see something different, we need to think a new thought. Who's thinking your thoughts? Your mom? Your dad? Your husband? Your girlfriend? Your wife? Your partner? Who's thinking your thoughts for you? I'm fairly certain it's you. And there's only one person who can control those thoughts. Yeah, again, that's you. And it's your thoughts that are creating the reality that you're currently living. And so if you like it, bravo, pat yourself on the back. And if you hate it, bravo, pat yourself on the back because you created it. And people get a little frustrated with me sometimes when I say this, but the truth is that we are always in the right place at the right time to discover something about ourselves. If we're willing to stop resisting where we are and begin to be where we are and begin to see the gifts and the blessings within the moment that we're now in. So each one of us, it's up to us. It's up to us to decide. It's up to us to choose. Choose a new thought. When you're looking at the news and you go, it's bad and very bad, why don't you just shut it off? It's a choice. Or look at it and go, wow, I don't really understand how this is all working out in the grand scheme of things, but I know the universe operates under a law of love. So somehow, some way that I don't quite grasp right now, somehow this will create good. It might be in awakening us to a bigger idea. It might be about shifting our consciousness of what's acceptable. It might open our eyes to realize that we're the one that's going to make the difference down the road. Are you the one? Yeah. In the church that I attend, we're always talking about the Christ, which is the divine within. And I was talking to them one day and I said, you know, if Jesus walked through the door right now, you'd stop listening to me in a flat minute and you'd be up there touching his robe. Give up all the new thought stuff going, heal me, heal me. And the truth is each one of you has that energy within you, and the healing you're looking for, you already have. The gifts that you dream about, that you think are going to come to you one day, someday, in some way from someone, now you already have them. The gift is here. You are the gift. And so we know that God isn't finished with us yet because we're here and maybe we're struggling. I've struggled tons. I just got over pneumonia. That was a struggle. It's awesome. My poor husband, I don't think he slept for days. But here's the thing. I sat with it and I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, wow, this has been a thing. It's a little thing going on. My body's telling me something. And she asked me if I was worried about my granddaughters. And I went, oh, interesting. And I sat with that and I went, yeah, I love my baby granddaughters. They're bigger than me. My granddaughters are awesome. They're beautiful and perfect and divine. And I was a little worried about them. It made me want to cry. But you know what? They're perfect divine beings. In the right place doing all the right stuff, and I knew that they were being blessed and that I was blessed in being with them and that I didn't need to worry, and I healed. And I'm all better now. For now. Because you know what? I'm on a human journey too. Just like you. Journeying along. God isn't finished with me yet. 4 babies, 5 husbands, and I'm still on a roll. God isn't finished with me yet. God sure isn't finished with you. I invite you to find yourself, to be authentic, loving to yourself, to be loving to the people around you. When you feel fear, take a breath into it and say, I know who I am, and take a step forward. God bless you.